Hello guys, and we're here today with another very awesome video. We're here today with some Dracopals. Yes, some Dracopals, because this deck did win a YCS. In fact, I think it's been doing very well overall, and it is just the big deck of the format. And I want to talk about Starlight Road, because of course this deck, I feel, if any deck, this is a big deck that should be playing this card, because there's a lot of cards in this format that are being played that can destroy 2 cards, such as Twin Twister, and then your Wavering Eyes, and then you also have raigeki and Dark Hole, and then you also have Kuraz for the Monarchs. And so it's just, there's a lot of cards this format that can just destroy stuff. And one of the people that played at YCS Prague said that Stardust helped them out a lot. So I feel if Stardust helped them out a lot, there's no reason why not to play Starlight Road, because Stardust can negate Ignister, and that can be really nice as being able to negate this guy. Of course, Ignister could always attack over Stardust first, but hopefully you have some way to get around that and prevent him from attacking over Stardust. And so anyways, let's just go into the deck profile. For our Dracopals, for our Draco Slayers, we're running only 3 Draco Slayers and then 3 Vector Pendulums. That might make this guy a little bit off, but this deck isn't supposed to be a long game deck. This deck is supposed to win in just a couple of turns. Shouldn't get past, you shouldn't have more than, I'd say, 7 turns. Like you could have like a 14 turn duel, but you yourself should not have more than like 7 turns, because then this card will start to clog your start drawing into dead cards. It's supposed to open up very well and have a lot of huge consistency, but its consistency will decrease if it goes on too long. And then of course, to match that 3 Vector Draco Rulers, of course, our 1 keyboard, because he's a 1 card scale, and then we're running 2 Party Naga and 2 Lizardra, and then 1 Mask Chameleon. That is it for our lizards. That's what we can search with King of the Feral Imp, and it is definitely very nice. If we don't have 1 keyboard, this guy is going to be our alternate scale for Guyu Total. You just place this guy and then you get that draw off of Guyu Total, and if you don't have Guyu Total, then you're going to want Lizdraw. And then of course, Luster Pendulum at 1, and Skullcrobat Joker at 1, and which is sad because he's very useful, helping us get that. But of course, we have a replacement, which is Performapal's second donkey. Well, he isn't as strong because you have to have both cards. You have to have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone. But if you do, and this deck should be able to do that pretty easily, you can add any Performapal. So that can be a 1 keyboard, or a Guyu Total, or a Wizard, Sorcerer. Of course, we're also running 3 Sorcerer, so that way we have the popping ability. He's the combo starter of all of our decks. And then of course, 3 Guyu Total, the draw power of our deck. We are not running Guiding Aeronade, because I was playing that guy, but it just seemed to clog. He didn't work out so well for me, and I just never really liked it too much. 2 Instant Fusion, because why not? This deck does like to XZ summon a lot, so our pendulums will end up in the graveyard. And just a monster reborn is a monster reborn, no matter how you cut it up. And of course, 1 raigeki, just being able to have this 1 card out to anything is really nice. Like I said, Clash of the Draco Rival opens up pretty well, unless you draw extremely awful and draw triple of these, both of these, and then this guy, or triple of him. But for the most part, this guy will be live at the start of the game, but if it goes on too long and you start drawing into all these, or you start summoning them out with Ignister, it will end up clogging and it will be a dead draw. But you can always discard it for Twin Twister, which will run at 3, because this is a deck that wants to go second. This deck definitely wants to go second, so that way it gets that extra draw, and it can possibly even OTK. Triple Wavering Eyes, of course, is a thing, because Dracopals is the biggest deck of the format. I might not run Triple Wavering Eyes if Dracopals wasn't the biggest deck of the format, but it is. And I'm playing this card more as stun, honestly. Like, a lot of times I'm seeing that I'm using this, like, I don't need to use it to make a play. I'll decide to make a not so strong play. Like, it'll still be a decent play, but I won't use this. I'll rather set this and see if my opponent's playing Pendulums, and then if they are, be able to get off L3, the 3rd effect, or maybe even the 4th effect. And so I like to use this card more as stun, because it just messes with your opponent way more than anything else. And of course, like I said, Starlight Road, because there's a lot of stuff that destroys 2 or more monsters. You have Bottomless. This card won't negate Treacherous Aphalesia, which some people do play, unless she has no materials. If she has no materials, then you can of course chain this and it will destroy her and negate her effect. At least it should. And of course, triple strike and then warning, which is $120, and this guy's only like $1. So $121 right here. This deck is overall a bit cheap though. I mean, like, this guy is $1 or less. He's like 5. Common. He's getting reprinted in gold. Common. Okay, $20. Common. Actually, I don't know what Mass Chameleon is, but I don't think he's more than 15. And then instant fusion is like 10. He's only like 5. 10. $1. And then like 4. So overall this deck is cheap, and you don't need to have triple Solemn Strike, because Solemn Strike does nothing against Monarchs once they get out their back row, those continuous spells. Because either they can just choose Chain Orders and be like, nope, return is Chain Link 2 so you can't Chain Strike, or they can just have March out and then you can negate it, but it won't be destroyed. So you just lost 15, plus your opponent's going to attack for more damage. So it's not necessary. If you want, you could play like Bottomless or something. And then of course now on to the extra deck. One Dino Stir, just being able to summon out your Draco Slayers from the graveyard just helps out a lot. I mean, a Monster Reborn is a Monster Reborn, and it protects against Wavering Eyes, as your Pendulums cannot be destroyed. Pendulum monsters in Monster Card Zone and Pendulums in the Pendulum Zone. Of course, 2 Monster Reborns for the 2 instant fusions. Only running 2 Ignisters. Some people like to play 3. You shouldn't really need 3. I feel like if your opponent can get rid of 2 and you're making a 3rd, like, you might have made him at the wrong time. Because sometimes I see people make him turn 1. Like, they're going first, they make him, and they summon it out, and it's like all nice deck thinning, but this guy's gonna leave the field. He's now my target. I'm not gonna let him stay on the field. And so I just don't understand why people make him first turn. If you have the ability to make a Draco Slayer extra deck monster, make this guy. This guy's great for going first. Because he's like, just can't destroy, can't Wavering Eyes. You have to run over a 2950 beater or defense. And of course, Stardust Dragon, you can only make him with Mass Chameleon or with Starlight Road. If you summon him out with Starlight Road, you will not be able to special summon him from the graveyard if you use his effect. But nonetheless, you just shouldn't need him for once. Because, I mean, if you have 1 Starlight Road, that's 2 negates. That's 2 negates, so that's a Wavering Eyes and a Twin Twist, or 2 Twin Twisters, or Draco Slayer, or MST, because Stardust can negate MST. And of course, we also run 1 Deltos because I like him. If you can make 3 materials, I don't see why not. Just being able to pop a card is being able to pop a card. And then Dark Rebellion for damage, 2 King of the Feral Lamps, so that way we can do plenty of searching. We do have 5 targets, like I said. And then 101 Castel, Magister, Daigastu, and Abyss Dweller. And that is it for the main deck and the extra deck. You're just pretty much placing your Scales, Pendulum Summon, and then XZ summoning for the most part, unless you can go for your Synchro Summons. And then you might want to do that. And for these cards, these are cards that I think would be really good in the side deck. I thought about maining this card, but I'm honestly not liking it because Monarchs is, I believe, the 2nd biggest deck this moment, and it's dead against Monarchs for the most part. Like, you might be able to draw a couple, but nonetheless, I don't feel it would be very useful against Monarchs, so I'm just afraid of maining it. I'd rather side it. And of course, Trap Eater is great this format. I feel Trap Eater is amazing because a lot of people are citing in Floodgates to just stop these decks, and he's just like, nope, get rid of your Floodgate. He is not a quick effect though. He is inherent, so if your opponent chains a Floodgate, and you, like, if you summon out Wizard and Luster Pendulum and your opponent flips goes in, and you have to choose an attribute, you cannot use this guy right then and there to save your monsters. You have to choose an attribute, get rid of one of those monsters, and then you can do that. But it gets rid of it for cost, so your opponent cannot stop it. If you decide to summon this guy, their trap card is gone. They can strike him, they can negate his summon, they can warning him, but they are not getting that trap back. It's like a Lava Golem. And so, I like him. I like Trap Eater. And so, hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. It is Dracopals. It isn't that hard to play this deck or to put this deck together. There's just like a couple of key tech cards. I'm just really liking the Starlight Road, this format overall. And of course, I'm waiting on this card to come out because this card's crazy. And this deck could greatly use it because it's like, oh, set my Scales, summon out my monsters, just draw 3. I don't get a special summon this turn, but I just drew 3 cards. That's crazy. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.